So you're thinking of moving to Belle Meade, Tennessee, but before you do, you kind of want to know the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, the pretty and the ugly, everything you need to know before making that decision to move here. Well, you're in luck, because that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video today. So we always pride ourselves on not just talking about the good, but also giving you a couple of things that maybe aren't so shiny, aren't so sparkly, so that you can make a really informed decision before making your move to Belle Meade, Tennessee. And we're going to get after it right now.
This is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Nashville or surrounding areas, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notification so you can be the first to know about the current market in Nashville. So as my partner Tommy said, today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of living in Belle Meade, Tennessee. We actually also made a full vlog tour about living actually in Belle Meade, Tennessee, so you definitely want to check that out. But today, as I said, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons. So Tommy, why don't you tell us about pro number one?
Absolutely. So pro number one is going to be location. So Belle Meade is a little southwest of downtown, and if you want to go into the city for music or sporting events or concerts or restaurants or bar hopping or whatever your thing may be, you're only about a 15-minute drive from downtown Nashville, which is really great. So you have a chance to live a little bit outside of the city. As we'll talk about a little bit later, you kind of got a smaller town feel, but you're really close to downtown, which is a huge advantage to living in Nashville, to be able to be a part of the thriving downtown scene, but not have to live there and deal with the hustle and bustle of actually being there. So another great thing about this location, in my personal opinion, is that one of my favorite areas in the greater Nashville area is Leapers Fork. Really pushed aside countryside. You look like you're, in the European countryside, streams, brooks, mountains. You're only about 30 minutes north of Leapers Fork, which feels like the middle of nowhere. So here in Belle Meade, you've got a really quick commute into downtown Nashville, and then you're also really quick to even more rural if you want to take the family out for hiking and those sorts of things. So really kind of nestled in a perfect little spot there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about pro number two, which is just how beautiful Belle Meade it is. And you will notice this as well when we're going to take you on our full vlog tour. If you look at our video, if you just drive down Belle Meade Boulevard, which is basically kind of like the main road that takes you from the beginning of the city all the way down here to the Warner Parks, it is literally just breathtaking.
Absolutely.
You got these beautiful mansions, different styles going from new construction to older historic properties, and they are all located behind a beautiful tree line. So like I said, definitely you want to watch our full vlog tour, as you will definitely get a better understanding what I mean with that. And as you can see as well, right behind us, which is the entrance of Percy Warner Park, the beautiful stairs going all the way up. This is just what I mean with how beautiful it is here and how beautiful it is to live here. So that's definitely a pro about living here in Belle Meade, Tennessee.
100%. I mean, the beauty is all around. You can't miss it. Everywhere you go, you can see it. Which leads into pro number three, actually, is the fact of how small Belle Meade is. So it's only about 3 square miles, which is why I said everywhere you go is beautiful, because there's not a lot of places to go in Belle Meade. It's really small, so you get that close-knit feel. Everyone who lives here is respectful and happy and kind and cordial, and there's always a lot of community events to do and go to, whether that be at the golf course or at the parks. There's always something to do for your family in Belle Meade, and of course, if there's not enough activity here for you in this little small community, like we said, you're always really close to Nashville, but there is something to be said about how small Belle Meade is. It's not super spread out, so once you make friends here, after you get here, everyone's really close, which is very enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. Another cool thing, even though it's a very small city, everything you need for daily life, like your grocery store, if you want to go out to a bar, you want to get a drink, whatever that may be for you, it's literally so close by, because first of all, you got Belle Meade Plaza, which is literally from where we are right here. It's about a 5-minute drive. And then again, you got on Highway 70 South, you also got another strip mall with like bars, restaurants. So you really don't have to go far actually to have everything in order for your daily life.
Yeah.
Let's talk about pro number 4, which is outdoor/activities. So the cool thing about Belle Meade here, as you will see, like right behind us, like if you're up to like being the next Rocky Balboa, you can just go as a morning routine or morning exercise. You can just go up those stairs. Or if you prefer to take a jog, or you prefer to take a hike, you want to go out with your family, you know, take the kids in their stroller, on their bikes. There's just so much opportunities here with the Percy Warner Park and Edwin Warner Park. It's about 310 acres, you know, spread out. So there's definitely room enough to entertain yourself and your family. And not only that, you got, of course, the Belle Meade Country Club with a golf course. You got actually here Percy Warner Golf Course as well. If you do prefer to go to a playground, there's several playgrounds around as well. And even if you want to go to the gym, Belle Meade is literally tucked in between Westmead and Green Hills. You got the YMCA in Green Hills, which is probably also about a 10-minute drive away. Yeah. So there's so much opportunity here in Belle Meade to stay active.
Yeah, there's always something to do outside in Belle Meade. And so we're going to go over our last pro now, which is safety. Safety is always a big deal when people are looking at where to move their family. You want to feel secure. You want to feel like you can, you know, go outside safely and go for a walk safely. And Belle Meade is incredibly safe. So not only did we talk about that tight, close-knit community, but Belle Meade is only 3 square miles and has its own police force. And so there is a really strong police presence, first of all, in Belle Meade. They update crime statistics on their website every single day so that you can have a real-time report of the safety in Belle Meade. And also something that's pretty spectacular and you know, specific to Belle Meade is on almost every street corner you're going to find cameras, especially on the main streets. And so they are always looking out, they're always watching, making sure that things are running smoothly and that everyone is being just as safe as possible, which, you know, is starkly different than downtown Nashville, where, you know, it's just kind of, you're just out there and everybody's doing their own thing. Belle Meade, again, you've got a really small geographical area, you have your own police force, you've got daily crime statistics being updated on the website, and you've got those cameras for that increased visibility. Incredibly safe community for your family.
Yeah, absolutely. So this basically covers all the pros about Belle Meade, Tennessee. Of course, we do have a couple of cons. We must be transparent and say like it was a little bit more difficult, especially to come up with, you know, 5 or 6 cons. But we do believe that this could be a con. So let's start with con number 1, which is affordability. So if you really would love Belle Meade and you would like to live here, do keep in mind that you're going to have to look living in Belle Meade with a budget of minimum $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just the reality here. It is probably the most exclusive area of Nashville. So definitely price can go up from literally 1 million all the way up to even 15 million, depending on how big the property is, you know, how many acres it has. So definitely that is to be considered a con, especially if you're, you know, looking below that 1 million budget. It's going to be almost impossible to find here something in Belle Meade.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's kind of like the old saying goes, you got to pay to play, right? And so one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in Nashville, be ready to, you know, to pay. So con number 2, and again, like Indro said, we had to really work at coming up with some cons for Belle Meade because we're pretty huge fans of it. But one con would be the size. So we talked about the size as a pro. For some people, the size might be a con. It is really small. The entire city is only 3 square miles. And so there is a lot that Belle Meade does not have to offer, right? Like Indro talked about, you're nestled between 2 other really great places in Westmead and Green Hills that has everything you could possibly want or desire to do. But Belle Meade in and of itself is smaller. It does have that smaller feel. It does have that kind of, I live here, I go outside and I hike here, but as far as lots of restaurants and lots of activity for the kids and those sorts of things, Belle Meade just isn't going to offer that.
Yeah, 100% agree. So let's talk about con number 3, which is the extra city taxes. So definitely a con here. If you would buy a property here, besides your Nashville metro property taxes, you get an extra tax, an extra city Belle Meade tax onto your property taxes. Now again, depending on where you live, those taxes can be still low. However, do keep in mind that when you would move here compared to other parts of Metro Nashville, you're gonna pay an extra city tax of living here in Belle Meade.
So that wraps up our pros and cons list of Belle Meade. If you have not already checked out our Belle Meade full vlog tour, make sure you do that. That's going to give you a much better, more holistic understanding of what it's like to live in Belle Meade, really get your eyes on some different communities. So make sure you check that out. And thank you so much for sticking along with us. If you ever have any questions, if we can help you, remember, you can call, text, or email. We would love to help you make a smooth move to Nashville, and we hope to see you around town real soon.
Bye.